to shape up, but well, they're going to have to try and make something work. It's best of one. Anything is possible here as we do get ourselves underway. Nova, very interesting maneuver from them. It's a 5-man smoke all the way out to this bottom side.
I mean, you have to consider, like, with the nighttime as well, right? That additional 30 movement speed that you get, plus the smoke, just makes you move incredibly quickly. So you're able to get out onto the map. It was kind of necessary as they're going to want to protect this Watcher if possible, even bringing the Ursa down here. Again, I really am expecting to see a lot more of this, right? Just because you do need to strike a balance between, like, yeah, we might be able to get a kill and then just use the gate to get up to the top side of the map, but there's also bounty runes at the 0-minute mark that you need to be contesting. So are you going to be able to do that in time? Looks like Hart is just going to be able to move back and forth, at least deny away that watch rune, and maybe that'll force Supernova to split up and look to at least get even with these bounty runes.
The battle begins.
So what do you reckon Irving's going to go this game? Because I'm really stumped. Like, outside of the Monkey King, it really doesn't feel like they've got enough AoE to be able to deal with the Chen. I mean, I also have to wonder, like, what Snapfire's build is going to be. Like, is she going to go into a pipe early on? Normally, when you see this offlane Snapfire, you consider things like Greaves, for example, but you've got a Chen. Chen wants to be the one going the mech, so you have to wonder, like, what the progression modification is going to be for that, because I do feel like early on, it is going to be pretty heavy magic damage that you have to deal with. Of course, Greaves, mech, whatever you want to call it, is always going to be good in that situation, but I feel like pipe is a really value one to get picked up as well.
Wait.
What's up? Is it an offlane Chen?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
This took me so long to realize, and it's Chen playing the Chen. Oh my lord, what's going on?
The role player. Let's go.
Okay. Well, we just saw that Sinister's Gaze, pretty much almost completely killed off the creep. It's a long cooldown, like you said. It's, Holy Persuasion's 15, Sinister's Gaze is 24 all up. So
I was
very
close.
Interesting. Yeah, no, you were.
Kind of surprised, honestly. I'm usually pretty bad with cooldowns a lot of the time.
You like your Chen. Sorry, you like your Lich, though.
I do like my Lich. I haven't played him
50
yet.
mana.
Yeah. Pretty spammable. Also, just the drain of mana as well feels really nice against a lot of these heroes when you're just trying to out-sustain, but have to be careful about getting caught up onto. He's got the Orb of Venom to be able to play around with as well, and of course, all the slows coming out from the Lich. Level 3 is where they really can look to make a lot of this aggression happen. And again, it's against 2 ranged heroes, so not the greatest escapes, not exactly very tanky, but of course, needing to be a little conscious of the fact that you don't have the ability to secure range creeps, for example, as they're just looking to try and get rid of as much of them as possible.
It does seem like an awkward lane, though, for Hard, right? Like, this is a double range. Is he really going to be able to get much value out of the Orb of Venom?
Probably not. I mean, again, it's going to be dependent on the Lich. That's why I'm talking about the level 3, right? You've got 2 additional slows to be able to slow them. It's not like they've got a leap or a stun outside of the telekinesis to be able to get away. And early on, that telekinesis just lasts for so little time that it's really not going to feel all that impactful. So, yeah, I'm most of the time you look to get 2 points into the Frost Blast just because it's one of the most effective harassment zoning tools in the game. But this time around, if they want to get kills, if they want to get value out of the Orb of Venom and allow the Monkey King to gap close, you need level 3. They might even get it without it.
Sheep falling incredibly low with the Rubik down bottom. Now, what's the resource looking like? He's got sticks and some Tango still to play with. I suppose surely the Chen as well is going to be able to help them stay relatively healthy.
So at least some of the other lanes. Sorry, just one last thing on this lane. I just want to highlight what I was talking about with the off-lane Chen. It kind of fixes that problem that I was talking about, right? Where, maybe? One more hit. He's got the Lotus as well. It fixes that problem that I was talking about, like, who is going to be this big aura builder? But, I mean, Chen is the aura builder. He's going to be able to get auras around the map just off the back of a lot of these creeps. He naturally looks to build into the mech and the Greaves, and, I mean, Pipe doesn't feel too bad on him either. wonder what Snapfire is going to be free to go up into, because again, we have to consider there's a Riki in the game, right? The new Aghanim Shard, for those that aren't aware, makes it so that you cannot target people inside of the smoke screen. So unless they have a 4-star themselves, you're not going to be able to get them out of it. You can't even look to cookie someone out of it, as well as they actually get quite aggressive, very low on the Monkey King.
Run.
Get away. Ooh. Oh, I tried to cheat it out.
Very
Nice.
well done. Good positioning from Chen there. Just using the Creeper's vision and running to the closest spot to find that cast range with the Penitence. So it's a pretty big kill for him to find on this off-lane Chen. And meanwhile, with the death on Sheep, he's going to look to try and TP mid and try and refill the bottle from the Void Spirit, who's having a pretty decent time versus Phoenix. In fact, has a level advantage over the Leshrac. Very minor one, but there will be some kill threat once you hit level 6. Bottom lane, Chen. Oh, okay, Blow get the return kill. As soon as the Kaze was able to set up for the Jingu stacks, and of course, that was plenty of physical damage to be able to bring him down.
That's always going to happen when you reveal mid lane like that. Yeah.
Okay, great tricks of the trade.
I mean, if you're revealing mid to be able to refill the bottle, they're going to go for a kill. It's already a strong kill lane off the back of that first blood, and then they just look to replicate it once more. I'm a little surprised just with the Void Spirit, with how much he's been able to get in this lane, just based off of his skill build, right? You're a melee hero into a range. Imitator's probably going to get away. He's got the Blood Grenade as well if you really needed it to assist with that kiting. But most of the time when you just want to farm the lane as opposed to like trade and harass, because Leshrac, he's doing a lot of magic damage, right? So your physical absorption from the Resonant Pulse isn't going to be able to do that much. You just go into the Dissimulate instead, just because it's a way to be able to spam out that lane, get your farm, and then get straight out of there. So really nicely done by him from just a pure mechanical standpoint.
Yeah, and as a result, he's one creep away from level 6 at that 6-minute mark as well. So he's going to be able to have a mass amount of damage to help secure the rune and potentially get a kill if it is contested.
Oh, that's going to help.
Very nice arrow. There's still... Okay, well, he still goes down anyway, so Han gets a freebie. Has to use a decent chunk of mana, 325 all up, so doesn't have too much mana left to work with, but he's still got a bounty to look to stack. So yeah, Han's off to a great start. And with the free game that we see from him so far, he's actually... Okay, so he's going to go phase boots. All right, so we're not going to see the treads out of him. Bottom lane, Chen. Some trouble with the Monkey being able to get straight on top of him. But he's going to be able to drag him back, setting up for the Jingu stacks, and that'll enable Ha to be able to provide the damage to help secure the kill. So if Chen, another death for him on this off lane, and I mean, the Monkey's starting to... This was what we were expecting to be a very strong lane. Early on, it wasn't proving to be the case, but now once we've kind of settled ourselves, they're doing much better.
What's the last off-lane Chen we saw? Was it 33s? Remember when he was playing on, like, OG, right?
At least for what I can remember, yeah. I'm sure there's someone else who's been running it, but just from what I can remember, all top lane, rotation out of the Lich, and the support just left the Ursa for a second, and
up top,
that's going to cost him his own life there. The Winter, he's going to end up going down, and poor old Shola was trying to get back in to maybe offer some protection, but great use of the Rift from Undyne.
And I really like, so I like that they're making a lot of emphasis onto top, but they're making the moves onto top after they make a successful gank attempt down bottom, right? The Chen is the one that's going to be able to stop a lot of this early aggression, just in terms of being able to provide a lot of that sustain, to be able to have that hand of God to protect across the map while you're still farming. He's not yet level 6 yet. I think he might have the mech at least coming out to himself though, so that's going to provide a little bit more sustain for the lane. But if you're slowing down the aura builder, this draft that isn't necessarily lacking in damage on Bright is going to be able to do a decent amount of work.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We were worried about them being able to not necessarily hold people into place, right? But if you're dying a lot more because you don't have those auras as Imitator, the hell did you dodge some of that?
And it's like another deny on a power room, but another death given over to the Void Spirit as well. So I don't know if that's overly worth it.
I don't hate it though, right? Because again, Void Spirit only really wants to make those rotations off the back of the power runes, and if he doesn't have them and he doesn't have the mana because he's had to expend a lot of it for the kill, then you're feeling pretty satisfied, right? You're still able to sit in these two lanes that you're doing incredibly well on, like an 800 net worth lead on a melee hero versus an Ursa. Yeah, it's one with like 2 blinks and another reposition with that Tricks of the Trade, but it still feels quite nice, doesn't it?
Oh, bottom lane.
Another
What?
move.
An early 6? The Chain Frost is going to be disastrous for Dire. Look at all the bounces. Oh, my lord. And even Phoenix is here for some more AoE damage as well. And, well, they'll definitely need it to help chase down with a Void Spirit. Han was looking to help out with a bottom push into some kills, but it backtracked on him.
Man, imagine if they had that power rune. That's all I gotta say, right? Maybe you were able to get that little bit of extra damage that you needed, but that Chain Frost coming out much earlier than expected really caught them off guard. Of course, as well, they were playing under their vision the entire time, so just gives them that little bit of an extra advantage too. This is what I'm talking about, right? Like, it just, off the back of that, now all 3 cores are ahead. You know, previously, Void Spirit was still having a relatively better time than one of the Radiant cores, as Irving might be in a little bit of trouble. Just wants his teammates to be able to provide him with a little bit of a save as well.
Han's here as well. It's a decent amount of damage out onto both. They're going to see even TP in the Monkey King top lane. Feeling like he's strong enough to look to utilize the Wukongs. Winter's on the outskirts, but it's not going to matter. Along with the point blank arrow to be able to set up for the Jingu stacks. Heart's even looking for Chola as well up to the north. And it should be able to close the distance. If it wants...
Orbital Corrosion.
Nice dodge. Okay. Does he need to jump away though with a Rubik TPing in? It looks like that's going to be the case. Anyone else? Any other boys? Is he going for it? Oh, wait, what? Cut down his tree. Detection. Oh, hi. There's detection. Han. Oh, it swings out of nowhere. Well, what's going on top lane?
It's gone in a little bit too deep. That's all it is, right? It was a nice little juke out there by the Snapfire. Of course, as well, at the same time, Void Spirit was able to get 2 Courier Snipes as well. So, really able to slow down a little bit of that farm. I mean, the net worth lead was almost 5k, and it's back down to 2 almost solely off of the back of Han right now. He's really been putting in a lot of solid performances, as you know, like we were assuming. Chen, with that Aura build, looking to try and build it up even further. Mech completed. No massive value in the Greaves this game. I think just rushing into that pipe is going to give them a lot more utility against the Chain Frost, against the Leshrac damage that's looking to come through, even the Starstorm to a lesser extent. So
they're setting up bottom.
They are, and he's in a little deep here.
Oh, they went a bit too early before Undyne was able to go through the rift. We got to speak about the void. Oh, wait, he's actually coming through. What's going on? Are they all wanted to come through?
Take back.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Chola doesn't have 6. He's so close to it. On double jump in. He's committed now with all these ultimates used. The remnant's just off the mark as well.
Maybe they feel like they can take the tower, but there's no siege creep to be able to help them out. And Chen, he's off farming on the other side of the map, the real one that you want to be bundling up with if you're looking to try and take some of these objectives. So it's kind of surprising, you know, 12 minutes into the game with a Leshrac and a Chen that not a single tower has fallen down just yet. But, I mean, a lot of that is just off the back of some solid counter rotations coming through. Both teams have them fairly solidly. Void Spirit with that burst damage. Now you've got, very shortly, you're going to have the Mortimer's Kisses available. We said the effectiveness of that Chain Frost, but what this does is it forces a defensive rotation out from the Void Spirit again. It allows the Monkey King to perhaps get a little bit greedier.
I don't know if this will work. Phoenix is a very high level.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to pay some respect. And, well, now Sheep may have overstepped the mark. Han's also committed all of his ultimates and no dissimulate, so he's going to go down as well. Frozen Pulse still on cooldown to get some absorption, so Irving's still going to be a bit cautious. Mortimer Kiss is going to get laid down for the right side. They're not going to have a way to cancel that, but the Chain Frost will prove to be a bit of an issue. Once again, look at the damage the Lich is able to provide them, and Phoenix is there for the cleanup.
They would love to be able to get Winter as well off the back of this, but Ricky, just a little bit too low to be able to go for that. But, well, all the while, they were able to take a tower. They were able to get even more map control available for themselves, and it really does feel to me like, despite the fact that they don't have someone that really wants to go in first, a lot of the time these successful attempts are off the back of Supernova just potentially diving a little bit deep, right? That time they went to go in onto Phoenix. He hadn't finished the Bloodstone up until that point, but he had most of the components for it, so he was still incredibly tanky.
Okay, we got to speak about the Void Spirit. He's going Dagon on Han. So, this is an item choice that we have seen once so far, you and I, with the new Void Spirit, with all the stats. And No, it did not work, and it probably looked one of the worst options that we've seen, but maybe it was just a wrong game for it or whatnot, but it seems like it's a definitely interesting item now, with the spell life still being built into it as well, so we'll see how it's going to be able to pay off here for the Dagon Rush. He's got Kaya queued up next as well.
I mean, it makes sense, right? The Kaya is going to buff up the Dagon as well, so even the 75% lifesteal that you get from the usage of the Dagon is going to be improved for yourself. And I feel like level 1 Dagon, it's a good amount of value, right? It's an extra burst, which Void Spirit really thrives off of, especially prior to these BKBs. Do they have any, like, pipe or anything like that on Bright yet, or any sort of build into the magic resistance?
Mirana's going mech, and that is the only aura that I'm seeing currently.
I mean, that's pretty good then, right? Prior to BKBs, prior to pipe, as long as you're not going onto the Mirana, then I feel like it's going to put you in a pretty decent spot to be able to blow someone up. I don't want to see him go more than 1 point into it. The one hero that I can see do that is probably the Nyx Assassin, just with the new Mind Flare. It's busted. You can 100 to 0 carries in the late game with Dagon 5.
We are going to see smoke up though from Supernova.
They're going for a backstab this time. They want to make sure that they're not committing in too deep. Try and catch that backline if possible. Phoenix, probably not the best target. Lich would be great.
Yeah, Phoenix, well, he'll be able to activate the Bloodstone. Maybe try and turn it back around as well with the Frost Shield, stopping some of the damage.
Dying, man.
Stun onto 2. They just didn't have the potential to bring them down, right? They bring every single member to this top side of the map to be able to take this fight.
So did Supernova, and they die for it. They just made a TP down towards the bottom side of the map to try and get something out of this control, but it really feels like they're going on the wrong targets to be able to start things off, right? The Lich there providing that that physical damage reduction coming through from the Frost Shield, layered down the Chain Frost, got a few slows off as well, just to be able to allow the Leshrac to really start to put in work. That Bloodstone was a little bit short.
They're going to want to get more kills. Irving did use decent chunk just for the Rubik. He's got Undying nearby, who's been a very key reason of why they have this net worth lead, and activating the shield in just the last second in case.
He's got the take on Han. I wonder if that's going to make him feel confident to be able to go for a kill onto Imitator. Has to be very careful, especially with that smoke cloud available. Doesn't have the shard just yet on the Riki. I think it might be just delivered now, or it was definitely in his quick buy. Yeah. So again, no way for staff to be able to save, no cookie save, and unless Chen's around, you're not going to have to worry about auras as like a tool to be able to survive against a Riki, plus whoever else you're going for with the dive. The Diffusal Blade just pairs together so well with it too. It just prevents the amount of time that you're able to spend getting out of that cloud. Just maximizes the effectiveness of someone being burst down. And Riki doesn't want to be caught out here. He wants to try and find one of these cores, farming away, prevent the progression coming through from Supernova, and prevent the comeback potential. I mean, this would be a pretty decent backstab as well if he's able to catch out the team. But I don't think they see him just yet, despite the fact that he's underneath a sentry ward right now. Maybe now he's going to back off with that Watcher being taken. There's no avenues for him to be able to progress towards that staircase. And they'll see him.
Still there. Wanted to try and slow down Winter's farm. He's actually going to look to try and TP to the opposite side of the map. So Winter, it just hasn't really been able to find a home though with his Battle Fury. It's all the net worth. Yeah. His highest call for Supernova in particular, but he's still going to need a lot more time to really feel safe. And are they trying to sneak Roche? They are running underneath the Radiant Ward, so they're well aware. They're going to pop through the rift, and if no one stays on this high ground, it's going to catch Nova off guard.
It is, and it's not like there's anyone that can really set up to be able to protect against that.
They're coming. Imitator. Ooh, that's going to be off the mark. Khan's going to be in as well. That's a beautiful Mortimer Kisses, but in return, the Chain Frost again is going to win them another team fight. Undying. Dude, has he not had a Chain Frost that has just ripped them apart? Phoenix will secure the double. My, oh my, Undying is doing so much damage.
A little disappointed that he didn't stick with the Undying to go with his name that we finally got a chance to cover during the regular season. But we got the Chen. We'll take that. But he's really putting in the performance, though. That's the big thing. And I mean, that's the importance of being able to put an Observer Ward up onto that high ground to be able to catch out those sorts of rotations. You see how much emphasis Bright put onto the area. They've got 2 Observer Wards up there. One was placed after that rotation through shore, but the second one, they were just playing through with the entire time.
And it was a great start with the kisses as well, but just not enough to blow up the Lich before the Chain Frost, and that was really the thing to turn around. He got the Frost Shield out as well onto Phoenix, is back live. Well, we got to keep in mind that's a Chen core, so Irving, another kill in combination with the Mirana.
And Roshan was even soaking up some of those Chain Frosts as well, right? So it's not like it was even perfect coming through from Bright. There were things that were reducing their potential damage output, and for Supernova...
See, it has to be perfect here with the chain control. I don't think it's going to be enough damage, so regardless to follow up.
Wouldn't have hated him giving a cheeky Dagon into them just for that lifesteal back, but you know, it is what it is. He's looking to get more levels into it, right? It's level 2 Dagon now, I think?
Yes. Yeah, and he's got the other recipes queued up, so... She'll see. You don't really get a whole lot of extra stats for it, each level.
Ooh, Radiance. Good way to be able to stop a little bit of Ursa's damage coming through. Good way to burn through a lot of the Chen auras as well.
I like just the adaptation we see from him, because we've seen Hart play the monkey multiple times, and they've been able to win some, but also lose some off the Radiance field. It's been very lackluster. There's another person in I think it's actually Winter on Supernova that really likes the Radiance monkey as well. And just, I like the adaptation where he goes Echo. We've seen so far it's been like Radiance rushes, but so far this Echo into Radiance is looking much better.
Mm-hmm. I think they just wanted some free net worth. There isn't really any massive value coming through from the Ice Spire on the Lich after taking the Tormentor there. It's just basically that's more for if you're looking to go for like a 2-man gank, you know, and it really feels like Lich is saving his ulti for a lot of these 5-man engagements or as a counter initiation tool. He's never going out just to try and pick off one person. Bright aren't satisfied with that. They want to be able to claim multiple heroes off the back of this. Be a little careful though on Irving. He's holding the point booster in his backpack, so if he does get caught out, he's not going to be quite as VP as you might hope.
Simultaneously, they've also caught out Chen. My lord, he just popped. And that's not even level 2 Chain Frost. Just wait till Undyne hits that next level. They're going to scout out Winter. Got the Enrage still to work with. Chola nearby as well to help with the repositioning.
Lich up on the high ground. He's going to have to wait a little bit. But yeah, that's the use of the Chain Frost that I want to see, right? It still takes out a target, but it's not solo with like one other person. The rest of the team is playing alongside with him. They wanted to be able to try and catch out more because they've got good, strong vision around the area. And if they can potentially take away that second tier 2 tower on the bottom side, they're setting themselves up to be able to go into and maybe steal away the next Tormentor that Supernova have to be able to play around. Children would be amazing for Leshrac to be able to hold on to, even as an in hero. Looks like they have bigger goals in mind. Able to take that Roshan to give even more sustain to play on the front lines.
Do you give it to Lesh or the monkey?
I mean, I'll be honest, it's kind of stupid, but I was even thinking, like, is it worth giving it to Ricky? Just because, again, he is a lot of your initiation, right? He's going to be the one going in first, looking to set up for the rest of the team. Phoenix, I can see the justification for giving him it, and he is going into the Boots of Travel as well, which I like, but I kind of want to see him go a Blink Dagger if he's going to be the one taking the Aegis, because I think you've got a 13k net worth lead, but if we've seen anything is that a 20k net worth lead is not safe in this patch anymore if you've got the potential to turn it around. And with the great scaling potential that a Void Spirit has off being a universal hero, Ursa, if you get into that basher, maybe you just chain bash someone 100 to dead, and you're going to get more auras to be able to play around with as well on Chen the longer that you give him. Really want to see him go into the Kaya next on the Void. I think it's going to give him a whole lot more value than just getting one more level into the Dagon. At least they're taking
another
towers.
recipe. Another recipe just got bought up, so Okay, so if he's going this route, who does he want to blow up? Because he does probably have the potential to get rid of one here on Bright. Who do you feel like that needs to be? Okay.
I really think Lich can be the one to blow up, and I actually didn't even notice that Supernova hadn't taken their Tormentor, so Monkey Kick just gets given a free Aghanim shot. I mean, that's kind of like a Blink substitute for him, right? He's able to get right into the thick of things. Maybe they'll want to wait until he's got the BKB available, just so that if he does look to commit heavily, someone like that Void Spirit doesn't just turn around and blow him up. But I think Lich is absolutely the one that needs to die in a lot of these engagements. Ricky nearly having that Aghanim Scepter as well, so he can look to go inside of the Monkey, inside of the Lesh, if they are going to be looking to play on the front lines.
Shadows take us.
Irving leading the charge. They're going to run into Chen pretty shortly on the low ground. Pretty solid position on what White Phoenix is going to show now, so that attempt with the Moonlight Shadow is not going to pay off, but you do sweep across the map. You get that bottom tier 2 tower. Mid-wave, not an issue, seems like. You don't have to be too worried about that, considering this top wave is shoved in, so they should be able to get a second tier 2 tower without Supernova being able to contest them.
He's okay. For whatever reason, the courier icon said that he didn't have the recipe available. As they might actually look to blow up the Ricky. I mean, that's a pretty decent pick.
It's a huge streak. He got 1,200 gold for that. He's not even godlike. Dude, that's so much gold. What? That's final recipe of the Dagon completed, and now even a little bit of chunk of change too for the Kyle.
All right, we'll roll with it.
If he can keep doing that, like maybe he's got to really turn up though. Like this build is super hit or miss, right? If you blow someone up and they don't die 100-0, then your impact throughout the fight it's completely useless afterwards.
Yeah. You are full on solo pickoff, and I mean, again, getting rid of a Lich feels pretty strong. Getting rid of a Ricky slows down a lot of the pressure because he's the one being able to find out a lot of these scouts in the past. And like a King, I don't think he's feeling confident enough to be able to go for the chase. Never mind. I think he just used the Boundless just for a little bit of an extra gap close.
Oh, well, they'll get sheep nonetheless. So still, at least it's just a support that dies for Supernova, so Han's going to be able to shove out mid. He should be able to snipe the dip. Well, maybe looking for a snipe on Irving, but time is off the mark. Look, is there anyone there to cancel? Arrow, probably a bit too late. Pretty close, though, my lord.
Tags up, though, for Ricky. He's going to go into a little bit of that damage output as well. I mean, Bright are in kind of a similar situation, right? They want to be able to lock in onto one person and blow them up. I would say for them, Chen, any of the supports really, Chen, Void, Chen, Rubik, Snapfire are the ones that they need to take down. Maybe Snap is a little bit too...
Dying? Speaking of the Chen Frost's not really providing too much at the moment. He'll deal with the army and still bounce back afterwards. Gen's going to be activated. Oh, the arrow connected, I think. So they got both the kills in the end. Phoenix was able to catch up, and now they're sweeping over to Han, who might look for the burst on a heart. Let's see how fast it's going to be in the BKB. They'll get the cookie stun. He's gonna have a time to turn and activate it. Now with the Jinku stacks as well, Han, he committed. He was in with all these ultimate charges, and well, as a result, there is no way he's going to be able to escape the 5-man wipe across the map, and now they can look to walk it up the high ground.
That was without the Wukongs. That was without the Leshracs Aegis even being taken away. It's got only 15 seconds away from it, but I really don't think you want to expend any buybacks. You're already too far behind. You got to just look to give this one up and hopefully look to try and mount a defense off the back of perhaps Bright feeling a little bit scared without that Aegis available for themselves. They look to commit though. I wonder if Heart just drops down the Wukongs here. They're in two minds. I don't know if they want to commit or not, and with Void Spirit so close to coming back.
Like you said, they're in two minds. So Heart moved up, and then he just ate multiple globs of the Mortimer Kisses. But they're able to keep him relatively healthy, and once again, Undyne drags back Chola. Han's looking for the burst onto the backline. Heart's not even dead just yet, though. Irving, beautifully done. A G into a second G is they are out of there. Bright, they'll take our first best of one.
Wow. I mean, we were both thinking that Bright wouldn't have the ability to be able to...